Hello, we're back. It's your boy Big Trout 27. Gonna do a one more review for the night before we get relax and watch some sports and chill tonight. And this one was interesting. I'm a huge Branch and Bone fan out of Dayton, Ohio. A lot of again, everybody's reading this. Is the Delicate Dreamer Red Velvet Cake Stout Branch and Bone Artisan Ales. This one was actually this is cool. It says this beer is a tribute to our favorite fiery redhead Jessica, a treasured member of our Branch and Bone team, our Branch and Bone family, excuse me, whom we lost last year. And says a portion of proceeds will benefit to write love on her arms, aiding those battling depression, addiction, self-harm, suicidal thoughts. If you or someone you know is suffering, please seek help. You are loved. I think that's pretty cool. Didn't really know Jessica, but that's cool they're doing this. And this one's 7.5% ABV. And this is cool. The can on it is very, very pronounced. 418. So this is very, very fresh. And again, 7.5%. Love red velvet. I don't know who does not. Like if I surveyed 100 people, I bet 98% of them would say they love red velvet. 429 for the single can there. Yeah, wide open again. Saw this came out Wednesday. Like I gotta get a single of this, and it's so cool. Like getting these singles. Branch and Bone is my favorite Dayton brewery. Smaller tap room, limited distro. I mean, they distro stuff, but it's not mass produced by any means. I think that's why it's great. But they really have made a big name for themselves with stouts, IPAs, sours. They do all three really well. I think I've not even really had. I think I've had about 30 Branch and Bone beers over 5 years, so not a ton. I would actually say their stouts are probably their best, but the IPAs I had are really good too, and some really fire sours. When they first heard these guys, they had some really good sours. Now, a lot of their sours are more taproom exclusive, but their American Wild Ales are not. They're not the Berliner stuff that you see that's blowing up. They're actually like wild sours, and almost like a Casey Beers and Blending or DeGard or maybe a Crooked State, where they're or even like a side project where they're real sours. So let's get into this one. Delicate Dreamer Red Velvet Cake Stout. Zach Holly had this, and man, that tap was a little bit off there, a little bit. Zach Holly had this, and he said it's a lighter red velvet flavor. He gave it a 4, and another friend of mine on tap gave this a 4.5. So it's not going to be bad. Branch and Bone, it's one of the breweries where you never had a bad beer. I just have some of that water there for some hydration. Never had a bad beer. I don't think you ever will. Oh, that's dark. My goodness. Look at this color. I mean, it almost pours like a Pepsi. Wow, that is unique. And the aroma on it, gets some red velvet, like a cake, like a dark cake. But the color is dark on this one. It almost tastes like bourbon, like a boozy. Like I get the cake aroma, but it don't taste like that red velvet cake. It almost tastes like just like a chocolate cake. Very dark. I taste cake, but it doesn't taste like red velvet cake. It has like almost like a distinct classic chocolate cake aroma. 7.5, but it's kind of bourbony. I know it's not a barrel. This is not barrel aged. It smells like chocolate cake and booze. Interesting aroma. I'll let one for a minute and we're back. Again, leaving a comment if there's any beers you want me to try. If anybody's watching this, hoping to get some views going here. Also, so again, Branch and Bone, my favorite Dayton brewery. I think it's really not close. I haven't been to all the suburb breweries of Dayton, but Dayton. I mean, I like Ward Wing still, but I mean, Branch and Bone's just killing it. These guys know how to make really kick-ass beers. So that's it for a minute. Also, too, let me know if you want me to try some food. Make strength reviews. I'm down to do it all, baby. Try everything in life. We have one life on this earth, and there's so much to do and see and try. And I gotta admit, I'm obsessed with it. But you know what? It's very cool. So if you haven't been to Branch and Bone or tried their beers, try some. I mean, do yourself a favor, and I think you will not regret it. Like I said, they've got some for everybody because, like I said, I think their stouts are their best beers in my opinion, but the IPAs are very good too, and the sours are really good. So all three, that's why I think you're a really good brewery and a good operation is when your brewer and your brewing team can produce, those three core styles. I mean, a lot of brewers produce lagers, a lot of brewers produce half of, stuff like that. But if you can produce IPA sours and stouts, almost like an IPASS, like an IPA sour stout. If you can do all three there as well, you are golden and you are set. So Branch and Bone does that very well. Their stouts are my favorite, but again, all three are really good. So let's get into it. It smells like chocolate cake and a little bit of booze. Cheers to the brewers of Branch and Bone. They kick ass. And cheers to everybody on the weekend. We're here. Here we go. All right. Well, I am going to let that one warm because I taste no red velvet cake. And it could be, you know, how the wood works. I did rinse my palate. I did rinse the glass. I did take some water, but I don't want to knock Branch and Bone because I've had so many great beers. I think they're great beers. This one's just not hitting for me. It tastes like just a basic, like almost like a milk stout with some roasted malts. I don't get any kind of red velvet cake. I'm gonna warm a minute. I don't know. I'm not impressed with this one, but not terrible. I mean, it's a good stout. I mean, it has a good base, some malts, but you know, but I'm not getting any kind of red velvet. There's good lacing on the glass, but I'm not getting that red velvet burst flavor that I would. When I saw this can, that's why I took it out. It's red velvet cake stout. Now it does get it again. It's kind of tastes like it's a little bit with that cake flavor. It's almost like you said, you're just getting a classic piece of like chocolate cake. It's not a red velvet cake, in my opinion. Maybe it'll warm. It's still not warm, but maybe that'll come through hopefully. But it's just not hitting with that. So I'm gonna say a 3.5 on this. Unfortunately, not terrible. There's certainly, you know, something to try, but you know, if anybody's had this, let me know. I don't get much red velvet cake, so. Cheers everybody to the weekend. Unfortunately, this is a bit of a letdown for me, but I'm not gonna badmouth Branch and Bone. They made so many kick-ass beers. I love them. Still love Dayton's best, and this is for a good cause too. So let's talk about that for a second. The lady that passed in their tap room worked on their team or they're at the brewery, so that's what this is about. Proceeds for her. So, and oftentimes, you know, a lot of breweries do these, and they do it to make proceeds and make extra money for, you know, stuff that goes on, and that's really cool and awesome, and that's what it's about more than anything else. You know, it's a brewery, but human life and suffering and addiction is very, very kind of widespread in our society. So, with her and that family, the problem is though, I think a lot of these beers they're focusing more on that and not the beer, and that's great. Actually, that's what it should be. So I'm not going to take it away. So, you know, you'll be missed, you're loved, and I think everybody, you know. I think people just need to be kinder. You know what it is? It's just, it doesn't take much to be kind to people, less selfish, and just people should just be nicer and just be happy. You know, I think that's the problem with America is like we are the most fortunate nation on earth when we have all the, like I'm able to do this video on my smartphone and drink a beer on a Friday night. And there's dozens, maybe 30, 40 countries in the world where people don't have the chance to do any of this. They don't even have running water, food, shelter, clean water, again, all that. So I think that what I'm getting at is just be kind, be courteous, be humble, and like I said, just be thankful as well. I think that's my biggest thing is, you know, so many people are so blessed and they bitch about every little thing, and so humble and thankful to me are the two biggest things, and that's kind of what I try to live my life at actually is just to be nice to everybody until they, you know, respect is earned, but I respect everyone until they do me wrong. Or until I see stuff that they've done. So, but even then, I still don't hate people. It's never like, oh my God, you know, just be humble, be kind. The world needs that, and like I said, you are loved. So if anybody has any problems, reach out to me. So cheers, everybody. Stay kind, stay humble, be kind, and be thankful and be blessed to live in this great nation that is the United States. And help thy neighbor out. Cheers.